we go.
So we'll do some floor twisty things today. That sounds really good. But we'll maybe do some heart openers too, because I think if we're not like really open and lengthened before we twist deeply, it can get crunchy up in there. Okay, so let's start in Shavasana today. You're watching from home later, you're always more than welcome to start in any position. Pick any adjustments that would make you feel more comfortable, even just 10%. And either allow the eyes to close or just gaze up towards the ceiling, not paying attention to anything in particular. Notice the places where your body touches the floor. You might feel a temperature change. And shift your attention to the breath. You might notice that just by shifting your attention, the breath itself might change, or you might feel like there's some expectation of what the breath should be. Just notice that if it comes up. We'll start today with a relatively simple pranayama practice, the alternate belly breath. So here we'll alternate the inhales. The first inhale will be into the belly. Exhale completely through the nose. And then the second inhale into the chest. And exhale through the nose. Keep breathing like that, alternating the breath between the belly and the chest. Noticing that bridge in between the diaphragm right underneath the lungs. Now, of course, anatomically, we're not actually moving the breath into the belly, but allowing the breath to move and moving the attention to the different sections allows us to play with the expansion of the lungs in more meaningful ways. As you move the breath, can you move it in all directions? Yes, up towards the ceiling, but also down into the floor and out towards the sides. After you take your next round, release any control over the breath and let your attention be open and wide. Let's take 3 breaths together to begin. Let your next exhale be deep and complete. Then inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Last time. And let the lips gently touch. Ujjayi breaths in and out through the nose. When you're ready, start to make your way into a child's pose. Maybe you roll over, or you could pull the knees into the chest and rock and roll forwards and back a few times. Whatever feels good. Make your way into a child's pose. Reaching the arms forward as far as you can, and plant the hands and sink the hips down, letting the head and neck go. Can you reach the crown towards the top edge of the mat? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Tend to the hands, just fingertips on the floor. Inhale for length and exhale to walk the hands to the right. Maybe bring the left hand on top. Side stretch. Keep pressing down through the left sitting bone. Deep breath into the left side ribs. Deep, complete breath out. Inhale as the hands come back through center. And exhale to the other side. Can you reach the crown forwards, lengthening out of both hips? And then press that right sitting bone down towards the heel. Relaxing the head and neck. Notice if you're gripping. Deep breath into the right side ribs. Deep breath out, let it go. Walk the hands back through center. And take puppy dog pose. Lift the hips over the knees. Maybe the arms reach forward or the knees walk back a little so that you could sink the spine down through the chest towards the floor. Forehead comes down, maybe nose, maybe chin. If it feels like you're gripping, if you try to bring the chin down, just come back to your nose. Press into the hands like you're in downward facing dog here, even if the elbows lift a little bit. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, press the hips behind you. Come to a tabletop, few rounds of cat-cow, moving at your own pace, inhaling to arch. And exhale, dome the spine, pulling chin to chest. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times, adding on any movements that feel good. Maybe some circles with the hips or stretching out the wrists. And after you complete your second breath, come to a neutral tabletop and find downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, taking as much time as you need to get there. Generous bend in the knees, especially for this first one. Pedal out the feet a few times or any other little rituals you like to take. Coming to stillness whenever you're ready and you've evened out both sides. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out, let it go. Shift the plank as you inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Let the hips pull you back. Let the collarbones pull you forward as you inhale to plank. And exhale, hips pull you back. One more time like that. Inhale, forward to plank. Lift the front body into the back body. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more inhale as you come to plank. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your mat, maybe knees first. Bring the hands to the outside of the mat. Tent the hands, just fingertips, and then lift the elbows so they're over the wrists. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, baby cobra with weird arms. Press the tops of the thighs down into the floor so that the tailbone tucks and gaze down in front of the face. Inhale here. Exhale, twist. Lower the right shoulder and look over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the left shoulder. Look over the right shoulder. One more time each side. Strong legs here. Keep the elbows lifted. And on your final exhale, lower all the way down onto the belly. Start to make your way back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Walk the feet up to the hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet right under the hips, pressing down into all four corners of the feet. Generous bend in the knees, generosity, the word of the day. Maybe rock side to side, hold the elbows, whatever feels good. If you're holding elbows, switch your grip. And on your next inhale, slowly roll up to stand, Tadasana at the top of the mat. A few little standing poses. As you inhale, reach the arms up. Hold on to the left wrist. As you exhale, hinge to the right. Can you keep the weight even in both feet? Lift the kneecaps, turn on the quads. Then tip the hips a little further out as you reach that left arm. Next inhale, come back to center, switch your grip. And exhale over to the left. Again, equalize the weight in the feet, then press the hips, maybe look under the elbow. Next inhale, come back to center. Reach the arms up. As you exhale, little back bend, make a diamond shape with the thumbs and the first fingers as you lean back. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, again, little back bend. Draw the navel in, press the hips forwards. Inhale to reach up. One more time like that. Exhale. Inhale to reach. This time, exhale, forward fold. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, plant the hands, come back through plank or chaturanga if you're ready. Inhale, flip the feet. Either take cobra or upward facing dog. Hold here. Deep breath in, especially in cobra. Can you squeeze the muscles of the back body together? Deep breath out. One more breath. Squeezing the elbows behind you. On your next exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. You can always choose child's pose or puppy dog pose instead. Again, how can you be generous with yourself today? Bring your attention back to the breath. And let your next exhale be deep and complete. As you inhale, bring the feet back to the hands. Halfway lift, top of the mat. Slow exhale as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up, take up space as you come to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, lower the arms for Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time, little twist. As you exhale, bring the right arm behind you, left arm in front of you, open to a T. Can you keep the hips facing forwards? Maybe look over the right shoulder. Deep inhale. Deep exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, come back up to center, reaching through the arms. Exhale, the other side. Reach the left arm behind you to a T. Maybe look over that left shoulder. Keep pulling that right hip back, left hip forwards. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, back to center, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank or chaturanga. Inhale for 3 breaths, take any back bend that feels good. Maybe you're ready for upward facing dog. Wherever you are, strong legs pressing the tops of the feet down into the mat, drawing the navel in and pulling the elbows behind you. On your next exhale, downward facing dog or any inversion that feels right. Four more breaths here. Notice that internal dialogue, especially in these heart openers. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, let it go. Inhale, top of the mat, halfway lift, padottanasana. Exhale, fold, uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up. Exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. One traditional version. Inhale, arms sweep up, maybe look up, press down through the feet. Exhale, forward fold. Weight comes into the big toe ball mound. Inhale, halfway lift, spin the inner thighs behind you. Exhale, vinyasa, plant the hands, step back, either lower down or hold plank. Inhale, flip the feet, take a back bend. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana or any inversion. Taking breaks whenever you need. Notice the breath. Wherever you are, start to make your way to downward facing dog. You can also be in tabletop here. As you inhale, lift the right leg. Look back to make sure the toes point down. Keep pressing through the inner hand as you reach the hips back, reaching the heel back. Inhale here. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose, shift the shoulders over the wrists if they're not already. Inhale back to 3-legged dog, kick the heel behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back, reach back. This time, exhale, knee to nose, plant the foot between the hands. Back knee could come up or down. Couple options here. If you want to work on a strength pose, you'll tuck the back toes and lift the back knee and start to make your way up to Anjaneyasana crescent pose. If you want to work on a little bit of a flexibility, sort of stability pose, then keep the back knee down, keep the left hand down on a block or on the floor, and take a twist. Then reach the right hand back behind you over the left leg. Maybe bend the left knee and reach for the left foot. King variation. Slow down the breath, lengthen through the spine. If you have the king variation, slowly release. If you're lifted off that back knee, bring the back knee down, hands frame the front foot. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog or tabletop. You might go through vinyasa if you like. You might skip. Same leg, inhale, lift through the right leg. Exhale, knee to nose, hands bring the foot between the hands, and then walk the foot out to the side, lizard pose, bring the hands inside the foot. Shift the hips forwards rather than down. Again, any variations here that you want to take, feel free. You could bend the back knee again. You could bring the elbows down. You might even open up the right hip now, bringing the right foot to about 2 o'clock. Then flex the foot, come to the outer edge of the foot as you open the knee. No need to do 110% here. Find that 80 or 90%. And then focus on the breath. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more like that. Start to come out of the pose, lifting the hips a little so you could walk the right foot back between the hands. Again, make your way to downward facing dog, taking your time, any poses in between. You can always come to tabletop instead. Other side. When you're ready, on an inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog or three-legged tabletop. Press down into your foundation, whatever is touching the floor, and look back to make sure the left toes point down, keeping that neutral hip rotation. Inhale here to reach back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands. Low lunge, maybe high lunge, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee. Doesn't matter. Take the same variation you took on the last side. Maybe you stay here, maybe you bring the right hand down and open up for the twist. You might even reach that left hand over the right leg, the back leg, bend the back knee and try to reach for the toes. Can you keep the left knee right over the ankle? Yeah. Navel draws in, hips press forwards rather than down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Start to unwind. If the back knee's lifted, bring it down. Inhale here. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog or tabletop. Just here to neutralize the spine. Next inhale, left leg lifts again. Exhale, set up for lizard. Bring that left foot outside the left hand. Any variations here, feel free. Sides will be different. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. You can stay here as long as you like. Sometimes this feels really good. When you're ready, start to make your way back to downward facing dog. No rush. No strain. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to stand, arms come up. Exhale, Tadasana. Step the feet wide, feet parallel. Prasarita, padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. We'll start with version A and then do version C. So start with the hands on the hips. As you inhale, reach the arms out into a T. Press down through the inner and outer edges of the foot. And as you exhale, hinge forward, bring the hands down to the blocks or the floor, maybe just fingertips. You can bend the knees to get here. If you bend the knees, keep pressing the weight forwards in the feet, and then start to press the heels down a little bit more. Nice. You can keep the back long, especially if that feels really good. You can always start to bring the crown to the floor if that feels good and you want to work on this as an inversion. If you want to do another twist, you can bring the left hand down, and as you inhale, reach the right arm up. Try to keep the hips in line. You can actually play with this here. You can let the hips lean over to try, and then bring them back to center and see how that changes where you feel this in the spine. If you're taking your twist, take the opposite version, opposite direction. We'll bring both hands down to the floor when you're ready. Bend the knees generously. As you inhale, roll all the way up to stand, reach the arms out into a T. One round of goddess pose before we take the other side. So heels in, toes out. Start to bend the knees. Try to bring the knees over the ankles. Thumbs to sternum. Deep inhale as you lift an inch. Deep exhale as you lower 2 inches. One more time like that. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lower 2 inches. Weight in the heels. One more inhale right here. Exhale, press into the feet. Come all the way up to stand. Re-parallel the feet. Version C is arms behind the back. Clasp hands. As you inhale, little back bend. Can you peel the chest open? As you exhale, start to hinge forward. Again, bending the knees as much as you need. Leaning the weight forward. Let the head and neck go. Maybe the hands creep away from the low back. Maybe not. Does not matter how far you get in this pose. The arms here are just a little flourish. Notice where your weight is in the feet. Can you press equal weight to the inner and outer edges, protecting the ankle? One more deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly release the hands to the hips, bend the knees, and inhale, come all the way up to stand. Bring the feet together, top of the mat, final vinyasa, or skipping completely. Tadasana, one breath here. Let your exhale be deep and complete. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Vinyasa, plant the hands, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, strong legs, shoulders down. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stay as long as you like. You can always come to child's pose. We'll all meet in child's pose in about 2 or 3 breaths. Once you get to child's pose, you might play with bringing the knees closer together or bringing them wide apart. You might play with bringing the hands together and then bending the elbows so the thumbs come towards the back of the neck. Wherever you are, can you press your elbows forward? Release any gripping in the jaw. When you're ready, start to make your way towards Sphinx pose. Coming onto your belly, elbows under the shoulders, wrists in line with the elbows. Press the whole hand down into the floor, spread through the fingers. Press through the tops of the feet and see if you could lift the hip points up off the floor. Then press the spine through the chest. Couple options here. You could stay, or you could work on either tucking the toes or using the knees on the floor. And as you inhale, you lift into like a forearm plank, and exhale, lower down into Sphinx pose. That's option one, either knees down or knees up. Actually, that's option two, because you could just hold Sphinx. That's option 1 and 2. Option 3 might be forearm plank to dolphin, where you walk the feet up. If forearm plank and dolphin is a lot in the shoulders, you might bring the hands together so the shoulders can widen a little bit. And you move with the breath. Wherever you are on your next exhale, lower down into Sphinx pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Walk the right hand, one hand print forwards, lifting the elbow, and then bring the left hand underneath, reaching forward, palm up, come down onto the outer left arm, and hold here for a moment, keeping both hips down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bring the right knee into frog. So right knee comes in line with the right hip, with the inner arch of the right foot down on the floor. Maybe stay here. Maybe open into a twist. So swing the right shoulder down towards the floor. Open the arms. Either gaze over the right shoulder or the left shoulder. Press the right hip away. A lot of different options here. You might straighten the right leg and try to reach for the right foot with the left hand. You might stay with the knee bent in a frog. You might even bend the left knee and try to reach for the left foot with the right hand. Little front hip opener. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Take your time. Thirty more seconds. Notice where you're gripping. Notice if you've lost that mindfulness on the breath. You might just notice how each breath is a little different. We're going to come out the same way we came in. If you're holding a leg, release. Start to bring that right hand towards the left shoulder, planting the hand. Start to unwind the legs, bringing both hips down. And come back to a Sphinx pose. Before we take the other side, we're going to do one more shoulder opener. Bring both elbows down, both shoulders down, coming onto your belly, and then reach the right arm out into a T. Bend the left knee into frog. Press into the left hand and start to open the left shoulder on top of the right. It might not get there. That's just the direction we're going. You can keep the left knee in frog, or you might stack the knees. Left knee on top of right. You might bend the left knee and try to reach the left knee up towards the ceiling. Doesn't matter where you are. If the neck is unstable here, I like to bring the left hand as a fist under the head. You can also use a block. Again, we're going to come out the same way we came in. Plant the left hand in front of the nose. Start to bring that left hip down towards the mat, really slow. Straightening both legs. Come back to Sphinx. Strong legs here. Walk the left hand print a little farther forward, right arm underneath, palm up. Come onto the outer upper arm. And stay here for a moment. When you're ready, start to bend that left knee into frog. You could stay here, or you could open into the twist. Bring the left shoulder down. Again, it might not reach, just moving in that direction. So work on more opening in the upper spine. Keep the left knee down. If you want to work on the lower spine, keep the left shoulder down. Any arm or leg variations are available to you. Again, 2 minutes. About 30 more seconds. Deepen the breath. When you're ready, slowly start to come out the same way you came in, moving one body part at a time. First the arm. Coming back towards that Sphinx pose, but come all the way down onto your belly. Left arm reaches out into a T. If you needed a block on the other side, you can prep it now. Start to reach that right knee to a frog position. Press into the left, right hand. And maybe open up the shoulders. You can keep the right knee down on the floor. You can send it long on top of the left leg and stack the hips. Or you might bend the right knee, place the foot behind the left leg, and reach the knee towards the ceiling. Find your balance here between effort and ease, noting if there's any strain in the neck. Make a little pillow for yourself if so. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, let it go. Bring the right hand in front of the face if it moved. Start to unwind the legs, bringing that right knee to the floor. Then bring both hips down as you reach the right leg long. Child's pose whenever you're ready. Take another breath here, and in your own time, start to make your way onto your back. Setting up for Shavasana, unless there are any other poses that you like to take. Maybe an inversion, maybe happy baby. You could rock side to side, holding onto the knees. Especially after all that twisting, this might feel good. The final pose we'll do today is bridge. But take another moment or two if you're working on a different pose. You can meet us there when you're ready. We'll take 3 to 5 rounds with the feet planted. Bring the whole spine onto the earth, onto the mat. So tuck the tailbone so that the low back presses down. And then as you inhale, lift just the tailbone up off the floor. Keep the low back pressing down. As you inhale next, just lift the low back off the floor. Keep the low ribs pressing down. And then next inhale, lift as much as you can, the whole spine up off the floor. Shoulder blades will be down. Maybe tuck the shoulders underneath you. Keep tucking the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. Any arm variations here, maybe holding hands underneath, maybe holding the outside edges of the mat. Can you split the mat between the heels and the shoulder blades? As you exhale, start to lower down one vertebra at a time. Now we'll go through that again, articulating the spine. Can you keep the knees in line with the hips? Really press the whole spine down. And then as you inhale, lift just the tailbone. Exhale here. Inhale, lift just the low back. Exhale here. The hips are barely lifted. Next, inhale, lift everything up, sending the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. Again, maybe tuck the shoulders, release the neck, release the jaw. Maybe lift and lower the heels a few times. And as you exhale, lower down completely. Maybe take a restorative version, bringing a block underneath the sacrum, the low back. Otherwise, take 2 more rounds on your own. Any variations here? You might just lift and lower with the breath. No rush, no strain. When you're finished, make your way onto your back, setting up for Shavasana. Legs could stay bent or you could stretch them long. See if you can find that natural curve in the low back, where it's still comfortable for your hips and that low back, especially where the low back meets the hips. If you can't find that place, or if there is no place that you feel comfortable like that, then just keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor. Knees together, feet wide. You might sigh out your next breath. You might close the eyes. See if you can give yourself some time with no purpose. Practice feeling deserving enough to accept the gift without obligation, to simply receive from yourself. For the next few moments, relax, release, and let go. Shavasana. You can stay as long as you like. When you're ready, let your next inhale be a little deeper. The one after that, a little deeper still. And start to drop into the alternate belly breath that we started with. First, sending the inhale into the belly and letting it go. And send the inhale into the chest and let it go. Introduce some small movements into the body. And let the movement grow in any way that feels good and supportive and generous. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. No rush. From seated, either let the eyes blink closed or relax the gaze down towards the floor. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up, your body for working for you, the practice, its lineage, all the benefits it brings. 3 closing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale, let it go. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Last time. Thank you so much for coming. Such an honor to share this with you.